and welcome to UNI TUNES, the show where Archie and I speak to Sydney's greatest up-and-coming musical talent. Today, we are really excited to be joined by Chelsea Silva.
Hi guys, I'm Chelsea Silva. I'm a 21-year-old Sydney singer-songwriter. I've been singing since I was a young girl, and yeah, this is a massive dream of mine, so thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Before we begin, we just want to acknowledge and pay our respect to the traditional custodians on the land on which we broadcast, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and we pay our respect to the knowledge embedded forever within the Aboriginal Custodianship of Country. Sovereignty was never ceded. Australia always was and always will be Aboriginal land. So if you don't mind, we'll begin the show, as we always do, some rapid-fire questions.
Of course, hit me.
All right, so number one, how long have you been making music for?
I've been making music ever since I was 13 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, so ever since that age, I wrote my first song at that age, and I guess I've just been trying to grow my craft and like try to find my sound and what resonates with me lyrically, yeah, and ever since then.
I'm quite curious, if you look back to the song you wrote when you were 13, are you impressed by what you did then, or do you just cringe?
I cringe a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I did take a couple of like songwriting courses and classes like that, like afterwards when I looked at it and I'm thinking, this could be better. This could be better. Yeah. And especially when like you're trying to figure out yourself and you're trying to figure out what your identity is and how you fit into the world, it can be a bit like daunting a little bit trying to figure out what your sound is and what you would like to write. So definitely like finding that now and becoming a little bit more confident in my craft, like looking back at it, I'm like, oh, I've done a little bit better. Yeah.
Well, you would hope that over the however many years you would improve just a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully, just a tad. Yeah.
Who would you say is one of your favorite artists right now?
Oh, I have two. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect. So I am in love with Dodie Clark and Alec Benjamin.
Benjamin's great.
Those two, their lyrics and the sound is just absolutely perfect. And the storytelling as well. It's not just, writing for the sake of writing, I'd say. It's more they have like something to tell and they have a story that they've experienced, and the way that they write is just absolutely breathtaking to me, and they're my idols, definitely. So those two, definitely.
Nice. Are they recent idols, or have you liked them for a while?
No, I've loved them for a while. Yeah, I think ever since Alec Benjamin came out with I Built a Friend and Dodie with Sick of Losing Soulmates, like those were their very like later songs, and ever since then I've just loved them ever since.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Right now, what album do you have on repeat?
Ooh. I have Inside by Bo Burnham. I've been listening to that one a lot. His music is it's really, really funny and quite relatable in a way. It's beautiful. And I also have Narrated for You by Alec Benjamin.
Oh, nice. That's a classic. Do you have a music unpopular opinion?
I do.
Yeah?
Ooh, don't hate me, but not all country music is bad.
That is really funny you mentioned that, because that is the unpopular opinion we probably get the most.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's quite popular?
It is a popular opinion. I think the idea that country music's bad, I don't know, is that like, I feel like it's a bit of a myth. Like,
yeah, I think like people think it's like bad because it's so like, it's stereotypically anyway, like you'd think it's more like lovey and sappy and like heartbreaky, and it's like, I think people just think it's a woe me sort of thing, but it's not. It is so beautiful. Some of the songs are just so lovely. I was listening to Would You Go With Me? You've probably heard it on TikTok, and it's such a beautiful song. And I don't know, songs like that, it just really tugs the heartstrings sometimes, and we kind of need that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, nice unpopular opinion. That's kind of a little bit popular.
Oh, just a little bit.
What would be your newest musical discovery?
Oh, newest musical discovery. It's got to be Stray Kids.
Okay.
The K-pop group. It's very out there. My music taste is all over the place. But I've been listening nonstop to Maniac.
Nice.
Felix's voice is incredible. He has a very, very deep voice, and you wouldn't pick it. He has such a like lovely, like, kind of cute face and kind of adorable. But then when he opens his mouth, it's like, that's such a deep voice. Like, oh my gosh. And yeah, I think ever since then, like just been really, really into Stray Kids.
Oh, cool. That's great. There's nothing more exciting than finding someone new and you're like, yes, I'm latching onto that. That's my new thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, now we're going to venture outside the realm of music and ask you some non-music but still popular culture questions. What TV show have you watched recently?
Stranger Things. 100%.
It was
My
so
goodness. I got to be honest with you. I've only picked it up this month.
Oh, like the whole show?
The whole show.
Oh, nice. That's exciting.
Like, when I tell people this, they're like, what? It's been out for ages, but I've only picked it up recently. But I guess that's all right.
Well, that's so much to watch.
Yeah.
That would have been so fun, just all in a row.
I watched it in a week.
Goodness me, what, the whole thing?
The whole thing.
Season 4 alone is like...
it's a lot. I watched it in a week. I was like, I have to. I was...
What a journey that would have been, start to finish. Well, not finish, but...
Yeah, definitely. Because I was watching it with my best friend, Beck Smith, and she's also a musician as well. If you'd like to check her out. Yeah, she's absolutely incredible. And we were watching it together and it was just absolutely incredible. She kept on saying, watch the first episode at least. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'll try something new. We watched the first season in one night. So
wow.
Yeah, we were obsessed. It was incredible. And I thank her very much for introducing me to that. That was quite awesome.
Yeah, you would have seen those kids age so much in 1 week.
Oh my gosh, I'm thinking they're growing up.
Yeah, right before your eyes, quite literally.
Yeah, definitely. It was such an incredible show.
This is just a Stranger Things talk show now.
It really is.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry. So, what do you think about episode 5? No, sorry. Back to music. What is your last played track on your streaming service of choice?
I can look it up now if you'd like.
Right.
So the last one that I was listening to outside was Where Are You Now by Callum Scott and Lost Frequencies. I don't know why. It just came up on my Spotify as I was sitting outside and I thought, yeah, very cool song.
Explain your sound in 3 words.
Ooh. Okay. Indie, emotional, and alternative.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I'd say so.
Very nice. And finally, last but not least, what has been your favorite experience so far?
Ooh. Honestly, I have 2. It's looking at a finished product that you've been working on for ages. The EP that I've been working on just under the radar for a year and a half because I had to be delayed because of COVID and everything. It was really, really hard to get into a record studio or to talk with my producers and things like that. It was a really hard journey, but to see it all come to life and to finally be finished and to hear it back to back and to show my parents and my best friends and everything and say, look, it hasn't been out yet, but look at this. It's such an incredible and rewarding experience and I loved that. And I'd say another thing is just meeting people. Through this, I've been able to, find you guys and to have an awesome chat with you and and just like after I perform and everything to talk to the crowd and everything, just to meet new people. That one has also been really rewarding. One
of the coolest things just about local music and small gigs is just the interactions that are able to happen between the performer and the audience.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you come off and then talk to the people and
it's
you just
so
saw it.
rewarding.
And I can imagine that after so much, I mean, I feel like anyone that's been working on anything in the last 2 years, even at the end, more so than ever, it's just been far out. I am relieved.
Yeah, it's an incredible feeling. Recommend it. 10 out of 10.
Nice. So what was that experience like? Trying to get into studios with COVID and that, was it difficult once things started to open back up? Was there a lot of demand?
Well, it was more like private studios, I'd say, with my producers. They were fortunate enough to have studios at their house, like little home studios.
Oh, cool.
So nothing too major, but yeah, I'm just really, really thankful and fortunate that they were able to have the equipment there. And it was a very big bouncing back and forth between Lugano and the city. So it's very those 2 studios were very, very far away from each other. And,
wow.
And it's also where did we record this? We recorded that at Lugano. All right, I'll send that to the Sydney one. But wait, hang on. I need to send this to from the city, to Lugano. It's where are all the files? But yeah, it was really it was such a rewarding thing though to it's even if I was bouncing back and forth and working as well outside of this as a bartender and waitress as well. So to balance all of that, it was really rewarding to find a set schedule and to have that experience where we don't really necessarily have to go to public studios. Yeah, definitely. That helped a lot. It really, really did.
Yeah, cool. I realized I missed one of the rapid fire questions that Archie
okay.
added in. I should probably add for reference for our listeners that Archie isn't here.
Yeah.
He isn't just sitting here in silence. He's not in the room, unfortunately. But he's all well. So don't you worry. To all two of our listeners. But yes, he added in a question which I missed, which is a good one.
Yeah.
What is your favorite song to cover?
Ooh, my favorite song to cover. Titanium by Sia.
Oh, nice.
It's the first one that came to mind, and it's a classic. I love it.
It is a classic.
It's beautiful.
Very nice.
Thank you.
All right, so that's the end of the rapid fires. So how often do you find yourself on the stage recently?
Recently, I have been performing a couple of times in Marrickville over the past couple of months. It was really, really cool. Sometimes the crowd is like, there's not that many people, and then they might surprise you and there might be a full house. So every single week it was kind of like a gamble, but I think that's what made it fun.
Yeah.
Like to come in and to set up and think, oh, like how many people will be here? Like, oh, not that many. That's cool. That's fine. A full crowd. Great. It's like a little bit nervous, but it's great. Yeah, no pressure at all. But yeah, I've definitely had a lot of experiences at university when I studied. Like we had to, like obviously I was doing the bachelor degree of music performance, so we had to get used to performing. So I had a bit of experience with that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. What are some of your favorite venues you've performed at?
Ooh. I'd say the Ritz in Marrickville has been great.
Yeah.
Gasoline Pony in Marrickville, and the Native Rose Hotel, I think that one is my absolute favorite. The
Very
Native
nice.
Rose, yeah. It was such an incredible stage and the audience was incredible, and yeah, it's an experience I'll never forget.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, the Gasoline Pony is so cute and small.
It's adorable.
It is. It's very nice. So we have to talk about your brand new single,
Yes.
Legalize. Was that May it came out?
Yeah, roughly around then, yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you
Your
so
debut single, so to speak.
Yeah.
How's that feel?
It feels great. Like having something out there and for people to be like, oh, do you have anything online? I do. I finally do. Like it's legalized. Yeah. So it's been incredible, and I feel amazing about that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about the song?
Yeah, of course. So I wrote this song, I'd say 3 years ago when I just started with university. I wrote these lyrics, I'd say at around 11:30 at night, because I was just staying up and I'm thinking, I got to write a song like these lyrics. Like, I don't know, it's just, I feel like writing something like this. And so I wrote the lyrics, went to bed, didn't think anything of it. And then I go into the student lounge at my university, and it turns out that one of the producers there, students, Alistair, he produced something that night as well. Like he had an inspiration struck. And so we just played the music and I hummed a little bit of the tune, and that's exactly what you hear in the song. And we just had like a crowd of people in the student lounge like crowding over us being like, what's going on? What is this? And I'm thinking, we don't know. We just came together on the spot, and then that's how this song was created. And yeah, it's really fun.
Oh, cool.
Thinking about it.
That's
Yeah.
such a fun story.
Yeah.
Wow. You've got a proper good backstory for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Wow.
Yeah.
So you've called this song, you described it as lo-fi and hip hop.
Yeah, I'd say so.
However, Archie noticed that the lyrics feel to him almost punk, like a bit punk.
Yeah.
So yeah, was this an intentional blend? And if so, was it a challenge combining these elements?
No, like it just kind of flowed together, I think. Like it was such a rewarding thing to put these things together and realize how well it sounded. And yeah, I did intend for it to be like a more punky, like hardcore lyrical vibe, and then a sweet, like sort of like EDM, like hip hop sort of track.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a little clash in a way. It's supposed to be like such a rebellious song where it's like you'd rather be the only person doing the right thing if everybody else is doing the wrong thing. It's like, it's that thing where you'd rather be the person to stand up for someone who is going through a hard time, or to stand up for yourself when someone is like doing you wrong, or yeah, just things like that. And even if other people may think it's a wrong thing, or you may be a bit too like harsh, or you might be a bit too like, let's say bitchy, like trying to stand up for yourself. It's such a like, it's a lovely experience to actually like stand up for yourself and saying, you know what, no, like I don't care what people like think. It's like you gotta look after yourself and you've got to look after the people you care about. And so I guess that's where the element of that song came from.
Yeah, wow, that's really inspirational. And I guess that shines through on the song itself. It's very powerful while also having a real poetic lyricism, which is, it just all blends together very nicely.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Archie also wanted to ask about the lyrics. He said, correct me if I'm wrong, but the lyrics say, I just want to rip off the bright side of the moon. How dare it shine its spotlight on me.
Yes.
And he said he's very curious to hear. I sound like I'm reading a fan question.
That's
like,
all
you know,
right.
when you hear on a show.
I love it.
Archie from Sydney wants to know. And he's really curious to hear what these words specifically mean to you.
So for me, like, I just want to rip off the bright side of the moon. That one is pretty much saying, like, it's such a set thing. Like, if you look up at the sky, you can't exactly do much. The moon is just there. You can't lasso it closer to the earth. You can't push it away. You can't move it. It's like, it's such a thing where it's, even though like the moon to me is like, I think the moon is quite beautiful. And to be honest, if you look up at it in the sky, but that's what's intriguing about it. It's like, it's so beautiful, but at the same time, the brightness of the spotlight, it can be really demanding because a spotlight means that everyone's looking at you and they kind of have you underneath like a magnifying glass, and to look at you and say, you know what, I'm going to like just look at everything that you do and criticize everything that you do. And I'm not going to really care about what you feel. It's sort of saying like, yeah, I want to rip off the bright side of the moon because even though it may look beautiful and it may look like such an elegant, beautiful thing in the sky, it can be quite intimidating for someone to just look at you and to criticize everything and to just shine upon you and to shine light of everything. And sometimes it can be quite intimidating, especially if you don't want that to happen. But yeah, recently I have been all right in, you know, people like criticizing me or to like give me feedback on my work. So that's definitely something that I've evolved from over the past 3 years since then. But yeah, I think back then it was more like, yeah, like I don't want a spotlight on me if it's going to be in a negative way. But I guess that's everybody, I'd say, yeah. No one really wants people to think negatively about them, geez.
Yeah. I think, well, just in general, you know, being alive and part of society inevitably comes with, you know, people judging you and you know, worrying about what people think. But even more as a performer, I can imagine that, you know, there's added pressure. How is it, you know, kind of, I guess as a personal journey, letting yourself be vulnerable on stage and letting people, I guess, judge you, whether that's for better or for worse. Yeah. And coming to grips with that. Like, that's okay. Is it something that I guess gets better over time?
It definitely does, especially since I wrote this song. For me, the thing that makes me like feel a lot better about being vulnerable with the audience and to show my deepest and darkest like fears and concerns and everything through my music, it's that if one person can feel better about being vulnerable themselves, or if they feel better about having emotions like a normal like human being, it's okay to have all these different types of emotions, and to pretty much show people, to show one person that that's okay, that makes it worth it. And especially like, I guess over the years, you just have to try and be so sure of yourself that no one can touch you. Yeah. It's like with Game of Thrones, with Tyrion Lannister, it's like wear it with pride and no one can use it against you, or no one can use it to hurt you. So it's just accepting every bit about you, whether it's the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly. It's to be really self-aware and to look within yourself and say, you know what, I'm a human and I make mistakes, or I'm not perfect, but that's 100% fine, you know. And I've been gaining a lot of confidence like since then. My gosh, yeah.
Nice. Just listening to you, whether it's listening to your music or listening to you speak, is incredibly inspiring. And I just love the way so much thoughtfulness is embedded in your songwriting, and it's very evident listening to it, and then even more so hearing you kind of unpack it a bit. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much. It's really lovely. Thank you.
With your other single that's on SoundCloud, Crying Fire, being a musician and putting music out there, Illegal Eyes was your first like debut in terms of like the mainstreaming services. But how does a platform like SoundCloud, which almost has an experimental kind of, it's more of an experimental platform, how does that help you kind of test the waters before you go all out? Yeah,
so I do know that there are quite a lot of people that use SoundCloud, and so I pretty much put like some of my music that I am comfortable in sharing on SoundCloud first before anything else, just to see like how the audience responds. So if the response is great, like perfect, put it on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever it might be. But if it doesn't get that much attention, I'm going to leave it on SoundCloud for now. That's fine, you know. Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be releasing my EP on most streaming platforms. So
Wonderful.
That doesn't matter how. Yeah. Yeah, it's my baby. I got to put it out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I guess what's common between these two songs is the really powerful lyrics. When you're writing your music, whether that's Crying Fire or Legal Eyes, are you trying to be subversive? Do you want the music to be subversive or to provoke thought?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just want to like let out whatever emotion I'm feeling. Like I use songwriting as a little bit of a therapy thing for me as well, to just like if I'm feeling really overwhelmed or if I have so many emotions that I want to get out in the one go, I try really hard to like write a song to capture all of that until I kind of feel better. And then I read back at it and I'm thinking, oh, okay, this has like this has a story, or this has like proper like meaning to it. And I guess that's one of the main reasons where, I think I would like it to provoke thought. Yeah.
Just like hearing that's quite interesting. I feel like we all could learn from songwriters in the sense that you guys probably have the most healthy way of dealing with your problems because you actually get them out.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so for me. I hope so, yeah.
And we've been talking a lot about songwriting, but your music also has some wonderful instrumental. In Crying Fire, you have that really nice solo break at the breakdown. Could you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so Crying Fire was a song that I wrote as an assignment with my band in university. Yeah, so we pretty much just put pieces together and we thought, oh, this sounds nice, this sounds pretty good. And we put it all together and then we thought, oh, it could be better like this way, like the bass could be a bit more like louder, or the drums can be taken back a little bit in this section. It's like, it's just a matter of discussion as to what feels good and what evokes that type of emotion that I wanted to like release, I guess, with the song. And yeah, the end product, I think it went really well and I'm really happy about it.
How does that kind of collaboration differ from when you're kind of at home writing on your own?
I mean, I guess when I'm like by myself, I'm into the feels a little bit, you know. But yeah, like by myself, I'd say it's just as equally as rewarding by myself with other people. Like I have so much fun working with other people and other producers and bandmates and best friends of mine. And yeah, it's just such a beautiful feeling, like to know that you're in a room of people creating something out of nothing. It's amazing, you know, just imagine like an empty room full of silence and then just a couple of people coming in together, just creating noise and just like, and beautiful noise that just comes together. It's so rewarding. And I think with me, it also helps me as an individual artist as well. So I'm really grateful to have those experiences. Yeah.
Speaking of kind of sharing your music with others, before you were talking about how rewarding it was to share your unreleased EP with your friends and your family. Is it nerve-wracking more so sharing it with the people you know than releasing it to like the strangers of the internet?
Funnily enough, I feel a little bit more nervous giving it out to the public than I am to my loved ones because like let's say my mum and my dad and my best friends and my coworkers and, you know, things like that. Like I know that I have like total support from them. I've received nothing but love and support and like just so much like positive vibes from all these people. And so to show them my work, like I guess I kind of like maybe I doubted like 2%, but 98% I was so sure that, you know, they would give me like support and love. And that's it's a must in the industry. It definitely is to be surrounded by people that you know will support you 100%. Yeah, and I guess that 2% was like a kind of inner fear, like of the possibility, but no, it was such a beautiful thing. And yeah, I mean, I would absolutely love to hear what the public thinks about it. Like if anything, I'm more excited than nervous to hear about what other people think about it. So yeah, once I release it, you guys let me know. My Instagram is open.
Nice. Well, we're all really excited to hear what's to come.
Yeah,
do you have any kind of short-term or long-term goals or aspirations with your music career?
Yeah, I would love to make a lot more albums and a lot more EPs. I'd love to put more songs out there. To have songs, let's say, on TV or radio, that's the best. I would absolutely love that. I would like to build my social media presence as well. So hopefully that will kick up a little bit. And yeah, and just to perform in so many different more gigs and so many different places, that would also be something like incredible that I'd love to work towards. Yeah.
So speaking of, what is in the near future for you that we should know about?
So in the near future, I do plan to post a lot more on my Instagram and TikTok. So yeah, look out for that. And yeah, I would also like to publish my EP. That would be great.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
We'll definitely follow Chelsea on the socials and keep up to date with upcoming gigs and the new EP.
Thank you.
And listen and go. Live music it's just so nice to have it back.
It is. Oh my God.
Everyone should just be going to everything they can.
They really should, especially since lockdown and everything. No one was able to go. So as a musician, like, I encourage you guys to please go see your local bands, go see your local artists. Like, it means so much to them. And I know it means a lot to me whenever I see people coming in to see me. So yeah.
At the end of every episode, we do ask our guests to share one of their own songs and a song that's just one of your favorites for us to add to our UNI Tunes playlist.
Yeah.
What do you have to give us?
Alrighty. So I do have my song Illegal Eyes. I would love to put that one on the playlist if that's all right. And I guess one song that has stuck with me for the past couple of months ever since he published it, it's Alec Benjamin's Devil Doesn't Bargain. That song is absolutely,
I love that song.
Yeah, it's incredible. And yeah, it's really lovely to find a song that you can relate to and that speaks to your soul. So I'd say The Devil Doesn't Bargain. There you go.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I had so much fun chatting with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was such a blast.
Well, everyone listening, make sure you check out Chelsea Silva, check out her brand new single, Illegal Eyes, and listen to her EP once it comes out, and go see her the second she's performing.
That would be amazing.
She does a great live show, I can confirm.
Nice. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for listening. And as Archie would normally say, that's all, folks.
Thank you so much.